Hello and welcome to our corner of the internet. My name is Margost, and today we're going to be going over 7 signs that you should consider getting an iPhone. If you guys enjoy this video, then let me know in the comments below if you want me to do an Android version, as I've used both extensively. With that being said, let's get right into it. Alright, reason number 1. Customization is not as important as you thought it would be. The main edge that Android has over Apple is the sheer amount of customization you can achieve, and this is true. I mean, Apple has gotten much better with customization in recent years, but it still pales in comparison compared to Android. However, I found that amount of customization doesn't really matter to me. I mean, it did when Apple didn't have widgets, but ever since they adopted that feature, I found myself not really needing total control over the customization of my phone. I just wanted something that was functional and looks good without having to spend half an hour tweaking things. With my layout, I can easily see important information and also my most used apps, and also, it just looks good to me. Android will always have a customization edge over Apple. I don't think anyone is going to argue otherwise. But Apple in recent years has closed the gap just enough for me to prefer its simplicity over Android. All right, reason number 2, and this is going to be if you want better optimized apps. I've said it before, but Apple apps are going to be better optimized generally because app developers are making an app for one line of devices rather than a large pool of devices like Android. This is not to say that Android apps are poorly optimized, it's just that when you're making an app for iOS, you're only making an app for iPhones and not a ton of other devices, like I said earlier. For me personally, I immediately noticed how much nicer the apps feel and look when I switched over to iPhone as opposed to their Android counterparts. It feels more tailor-made, if that makes sense. All right, reason number 3. This is going to be if you want more accessories. So along the same lines, Apple is going to actually have more accessories than their Android counterparts because, again, like I said earlier, people are only making cases and accessories for one line of devices. I also feel like there are more first-party options from Apple themselves. This is exacerbated by the popularity of iOS devices, resulting in more people making accessories for them. If you have a phone that's from a lesser known brand, or if you don't have the flagship model of a well-known brand, it may be harder for you to find accessories and cases and things like that. All right, reason number 4, and this is going to be if you want iOS only apps. Now, I'm not a programmer or a coder or anything like that, so I don't know what goes into the making of an app, but what I do know is that making an app for iOS and making an app for Android are two very different processes. Some app developers make apps exclusively for iOS, and in my opinion, these are some of the most beautifully designed ones. Some examples of this are Bear, or Drafts, or Ulysses, and there are a lot more after that. This goes both ways though. In fact, I'd wager that there are probably way more Android apps that are only for Android as opposed to iOS only apps. However, from my experience, I found that typically iOS only apps look a little bit better, like when it comes to UI, but they also perform better. All right, number 5, I think, and this is going to be if you want a smooth workflow between your devices. One of my favorite parts about using an iPhone is it allows me to get work done seamlessly. If you want to build a tight-knit productivity system, then iPhones are easily the way to go. This does mean, however, that you'll go down the rabbit hole of buying an Apple Watch to complement your iPhone, and then an iPad, and then a Mac, etc., etc. In my opinion, the Apple ecosystem has enabled me to work seamlessly because of the way it facilitates small tasks. Universal Clipboard allows me to copy and paste between my phone and my Mac. iMessage allows me to share photos and videos at high resolutions. AirDrop allows me to share files with other iPhone users. It all works together to facilitate those tasks and make the whole experience seamless and easier, saving me a lot of time and headache. All right, number 6, and this is going to be if you want your devices to last a long time. Apple supports their devices for years after they're released, and if you want to only buy a phone like once every 4 or 5 years, then iPhone is easily the way to go. Like, dude, I think the iPhone 6S came out in 2015, and it's still getting updates. Granted, I think it's on its last one, being iOS 15, but that's just crazy. I feel like this is a testament to the longevity of Apple's design when it comes to the iPhones. Now, this is also if you can look past the accusations of planned obsolescence with, people claiming that Apple is intentionally throttling the phone's battery to encourage people to buy new devices. I don't know too much about that, but it is a valid concern. So just keep that in mind. All right, our seventh and final reason, and this is going to be if you just like the design language. If you like how the iPhones look and feel and the user interface is good and the design language just generally resonates with you, then maybe consider getting an iPhone. I mean, for most of us, a phone is something that we use daily, and don't you want it to look and feel good to use? I mean, it's gonna always be in our pocket, so might as well get something that looks and feels nice. I said this in a previous video, but I think a lot of us, including me, can get caught up in the specs of it all, but we have to also remember that look and feel is also a part of the user experience as well. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying if you like the way an iPhone looks, just get it because of that. That's not what I'm saying at all. But I mean, if you like how it looks and then maybe if some other points resonate with you, then maybe consider switching over. And thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, then I would appreciate it if you dropped a thumbs up. And if you really enjoyed it, then please consider subscribing. Guys, if you like backpacks or everyday carry or things like that, I actually started a podcast called The Carry Condition, and you can check it out. It's on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. I'll leave a link to that below. You can also follow me on Instagram at MaroGhost. I would love to see you there. And yeah, I've been MaroGhost, and I'll haunt you tomorrow. Bye.
Here we go.